All right. Hey guys, we are live. I'm here with my host Dave on Mindset Monday. Hope everyone had a great weekend. Dave, how's it going, brother?
Going great, buddy. How are you, man?
Pretty good. Pretty
Awesome.
good.
Good.
I mean, maybe this is a technical issue, but I still cannot see you.
I can
So,
see you, and I
yeah,
can
that's
see me.
all right. Cool. Well,
Hope the rest of the world can see both of us.
there we go. It just came on.
Nice.
Nice. So, what one of the things I wanted to kind of go over is, and this happens to all entrepreneurs. It happens to most people too. Um, Basically, getting out of a slump. Okay, getting out of a slump and stop letting things spiral, right? So I think one of the things that I have gotten better with as I get older, not handling it emotionally, right? Like that definitely could use some work there. But when things are not going well, how do you get back on track? How do you know, do everything you need to do and not like destroy and burn down everything around you? Because I've been guilty of that, right? Things aren't going well and it carries over to let's say it's a work issue. Well, it carries over to a fitness issue, it carries over to your home life, or it could be something else. It could be a family issue or a home issue that carries on into work or fitness. Or if it's a fitness issue, it'll get everything else impacted because you're not operating in a peak state. So what I would say is, when you realize that you may be in a slump or you're not getting everything done that you need to accomplish, like what are some of the steps that you should take? Well, first, you should take a step back, breathe, figure out what the goal is, and focus on solutions. Okay. Second, if you look at every little thing, because this is human nature, if you look at every little thing that is going wrong, okay, and you just keep harping on that, it's not going to go right, right? You're just going to get more frustrated. You're not going to be thinking clearly enough to solve or find a solution. And it's just going to lead to this spiraling, downward spiral of emotions and bad decisions. Okay. We've all been there. So here's what I think you should do. All right. One, really take inventory of where you are and try to find or focus on the solutions, not the problems. Also, figure out what is most pressing, what is most urgent. Approach or handle that first. And then focus on only things that you can control. Okay. If you focus on things that you cannot control, you're going to get even more frustrated. And honestly, there's not much you can do, right? If it's out of your control, it's out of your control. So only focus on what's truly in your control and do everything you can to find those solutions and take small steps daily, small little wins daily to start building up that momentum. And the other thing you should do, like if you break it down to the easiest, right? Let's say it's not about problems, okay? Or you have these problems, but you haven't found the right solution. Well, what's some of the stuff, some of the things that you can control right off the bat? You can control what you eat. You can control what you read or what you feed your mind. Okay. You can control, your level of fitness. Okay. So that's why a program like 75 Hard is so huge, and I don't want to keep propping it up, but it's the truth. All right. So focus on those things and then look to solve whatever the challenges are. And when you do those things, when you're eating right, when you're exercising, when you're reading, you're not watching TV, you're not wasting time, you'll be in a much better state, and your state definitely impacts how you handle everything else in your life. Dave, what do you got to add on this?
Yeah, man. Some of the best pieces of advice I've ever gotten on this. I always ask, hey, if I asked a mentor of mine one time, I said, hey, man, what do you do like if you're like in a slump or a funk and you're trying to get the wheels rolling and you're not focused on like something tragic happen? And it's most of the time we make it bigger than what it actually really is, because we're not used to it. It's uncomfortable. And And I'm still guilty of it now. You just lose your shit when it's kind of unnecessary. But he said, just do something, right? Like it doesn't have to be work related. Just do something to get the ball rolling. If you have something laying around, then focus back, come back. Okay, I got the wheels rolling. My focus isn't on this BS over here. Now we can step back in. Get your focus shift back. He calls it a focus shift. And another piece of advice that he gave me too, he said, listen, man, if you're in the whole fitness ordeal and getting your body going, and if it's screwing you up that day, go somewhere else. Go to a different gym. The weights are racked different. Not everything's in the same place. Take that, be uncomfortable there, right? And it will pull you back into reality. It's like, oh shit, I got to force myself to do something I'm used to every day, to focus on different, to be more intentional with that, to pull me back here. Does that make sense a little bit? All that
Yeah,
to
dude, that's actually brilliant. I've never thought about that.
Yeah, dude, like change your environment, man. Because a lot of times, like if you're disciplined in something, you're doing the same thing every day, you start to get a little comfortable with that, even though it's
Mhm.
still uncomfortable, right? So to snap you out of that reality, do it different. Go to a different spot, go to a different gym. If you're doing an outdoor workout, go somewhere else, do something different. That will pull you back to me. And it's worked for me all the time, man. And going back to what I said, just to do something can be something simple as washing the dishes, man. You know what I mean? Just to do something to get it going. And lastly on that, it's the whole 5 theory. It's like my theory of 5 that I call. If it's not going to matter in 5 minutes, 5 days, 5 weeks, 5 months, 5 years, it's pretty irrelevant. It's not going to kill you, and try to short that down. Hey man, I'm losing my dick because I get in like a 48-hour funk. If there's something that beats me down, I've gotten better. I've got to knock down to 24 hours now. But like if
Yeah,
someone was just like, holy shit, man, like I'm losing it over here, like what's going on? But like thinking if it's hey man, this isn't gonna matter, 5 days from now, dude, it's not that big of a deal. You figure it out, you move forward.
dude, I love that. I've actually noticed the more successful I've been at reducing or eliminating these negative cycles,
Mhm.
it's just translated into way more success into everything else I do.
Yeah. Production goes up.
And I can't stress enough, like when something's really bothering you, or and everyone's been in this position where something's off, you're edgy, you're on edge, you're pissed about something, you don't know what it is, and then it finally hits you. Things like that, all those things impact your state.
Mhm.
Okay. And I don't care what business you're in, everybody is in the people business. So when your state is off, when you're off, when you're not 100%, everything else does get impacted. Like there's no doubt in my mind that if I am not on top of my game, I'll give you an example. There are certain people to help them get finance. Okay, there are certain things that I'm at a point where most people are coming to me, reaching out to me, but I'm at a point where there are certain things that if someone says or does on a call, I kind of I decide I don't want to work with this person,
Mhm.
right? If they have very, very, very limited understanding of what's going on, and I'm trying to help them. If you can't get through them right away, it's and that one thing will impact the rest of like my day. If someone says something stupid, you know. Now that was more like years ago. I've got much better at it, but it still exists,
I'll bet
right?
it. A lot of it.
Noticing what triggers you and what doesn't, and kind of changing or fixing those little things will mean all the difference in the world, right? So when you're going through these slumps, if it could be as simple as write down on one side of the piece of paper, hey, I can control this stuff with this situation. Here's what I can't control. Let me focus on what I can control and just work on that. And that will hopefully get you what you need. What else you got, Dave?
This is this one to me is important because and I'm reading it now. Part of our faith-based group that we're in, and we talk about this a lot because there's some high-level dudes in there. And when you kind of get into this wishy-washy area, the slump, most of us, we look at ourselves as alpha people and alpha dominant males and so forth. Our ego kind of gets in the way, right? And we don't want to like tell anybody that, hey man, we're having a rough match. You know what I mean? Hey man, shit's hitting the fan. And we kind of isolate ourselves. That's not good. You know what I mean? It's a terrible and we're all guilty. A lot of us
I was gonna say we all do it.
but it's not good, man. And like it can spiral bad. And my boy sent this to us not too long ago. I think it's important, man. Reach out to me. You know what I mean? Like I'll talk through anything with anybody, and I'm guilty of that too. Like I sometimes there's some shit I need to air out, but like this is important. Here's a little proverb right here. A man who isolates himself seeks his own desire. He rages against all wise judgment. Right? You can't lock yourself in, man. Like if you're going through something and if it's getting that bad to where like if you're even in a funk, besides all that stuff that we talked about, just talk to somebody in your inner circle, talk to somebody that you look up to, and just get some different eyes and a perspective on it. I don't want to sound all woo-hoo and all that crazy stuff, but that's important, man. There's a lot of times, man, where you hold unnecessary stuff and where like you really shouldn't. People are here to help you. You know what I mean? And dude, trust me, there are some big dogs that probably go through and they'll say the same thing, man. I just probably just need to talk to somebody, and
Yeah.
it's that ego and that pride, man, where sometimes we just need to let that shit go, man, and just put it on some other ears.
Yeah. Dude, I love that. I think we're gonna end it right there. We could talk on this subject for hours, but I think that was solid. All right,
Yeah,
guys, catch us for Financial Fitness Friday. As always, do us a favor, like this, share it, interact with it, send it to someone who needs to hear it. All right. We do this every day, Monday and Friday for you guys. Appreciate you guys. Dave, thanks again.
you got it, brother.
Catch you on Friday.
Be great, y'all.